Good morning. In the Bible, in Isaiah chapter 25, verse 4, for thou hast been a strength to the poor, a strength to the needy in his distress, a refuge from the storm, a shadow from the heat, when the blast of the terrible ones is as a storm against the wall. Welcome as we continue in the Divine Protector series, and on the topic of divine refuge, here in Isaiah, we see Isaiah talking about God. He's talking about who God is and what kind of a what kind of an individual God is, and in the type of individual that God protects. And in this setting, he's not necessarily talking about the financially poor and needy, although that very well can be the case, especially when there's a deep oppression from the elite, from governmental agencies and so forth. But he's talking really about the spiritual aspect. Those that are spiritually poor, spiritually needy. God will be your strength. God will be your refuge in the storm. And the thing I really want to focus on today is this that was translated as strength here in this passage. In both occasions here, the Hebrew word is mauz, which means a fortified place, a stronghold, or a fortress. For the poor and the needy, and especially those poor in spirit, as we talked about a couple of years ago when we discussed the Beatitudes, the spiritually destitute, those who know that they are just absolutely poor. They have no, their spirit, they know they're spiritually bankrupt. God has a fortified place for people in this condition, in the storms that this life has to offer. God can be there for you when you recognize your need. You have that need of him in your life. God can be that cool shade that gives you rest in the heat of the battle. And when your enemies are coming up against you, when it seems like all hope is lost, God will be a wall between you and the enemy. And no matter how hard they beat against that wall, they cannot push it over. They cannot break through. They can't get around it. God can be your refuge when you put your trust and faith in him. You have nothing to fear when your hope is placed in the Lord. If you're a Christian today, these are awesome words of encouragement. These are exciting because even though the things that may happen in this life, you may seem like you have no control over it, but just know that God has you covered. God is your refuge. Draw closer to him. Don't let the things of this world pull you away, but push in closer to God. Let him be that refuge that you need. And if you're not a Christian today, I want to invite you to join us, to put your faith and trust in this God that can protect you in your most desperate hour of need. And as always, we love you and God loves you. We're praying for you. God bless you and have a fantastic week in the Lord.